All right, Shalom Akim, coming back again to prophesy the downfall of America, to let the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians know that you are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth, to the spirit of power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth, striving for the hopeful elect and enduring all afflictions, and seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right. Today I'm going to get into a topic regarding the so-called Mexicans, the Northern Kingdom, and how a lot of these Latin tribes, from the time I came in up to now, and seeing a lot of these Latin tribes, they're playing too many games, man. You know, their heart's still set up in the world, and it's going to be major tribulation for them to wake up and to acknowledge their power. Okay, and I just want to go into that, how Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is very angry with the Northern Kingdom, as well as the Southern Kingdom, Judah, but primarily more or less towards the Northern Kingdom as far as in this time, in this era, because Judah is basically all, they more or less know what's up, you know what I'm saying? It's the Northern Kingdom that's playing games, you know? So the first scripture I want to jump off with is in the book of Psalms 110. It says, I'm going to start at verse 1 and read down. And the Lord, it says, Psalms 110 and 1. The Lord said unto my Lord, right, Yahweh talking to Yahweh Shai, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. Okay, so anybody that is contrary to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, they're going to be ruled by Yahweh Shai. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the law, statutes, commandments are going to be implemented again. All right, that's going to be the law of the universe and the land. There ain't going to be no man-made doctrines. You know, there ain't going to be none of that stuff going on the earth. Yahweh Shai is going to once and for all rule. But right now in our time, we're setting that up for Yahweh Shai, man. You know, we're those forerunners for Yahweh Shai and setting up that, preparing the way. Okay? And being a light unto the nations and to the people and letting them know what's coming to pass. It says, the Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. And who's the rod of our strength? You know, the Yahweh Shai, the law, statutes, commandments, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? It says, rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. See, and that's the point. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Okay? Because that's what it's going to take for certain individual people to snap out of that delusion, to snap out of that. Okay? And they're going to take heed unto the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Everybody, you know, maneuvers and it takes, you know, I want to say, everybody has different ways of waking up to certain things, to acknowledging certain things in their life. It don't work for everybody. What worked for me it doesn't work for everybody else. You know, so different things the Most High uses to wake up certain individual people. Sometimes He'll use death. A lot of times that's what it's going to take. You know, because the word is not enough as far as like to put that fear into them, to move in that spirit. So He's going to take them. He's going to come upon them unawares. That's why when you go into 2nd Esdras chapter 9, it says, verse 2nd Esdras 9:9, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Okay, but the Most High is going to have mercy on whom He's going to have mercy. We know that when we read this, it's talking about those that despise repentance, despise mercy. Okay, but Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to use these things, certain things, to draw the elect out. It says, to scare them, man, to really, for them to see. It says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. And that's how these so-called Mexicans are. They come over here to America, you know, the Northern Kingdom, Dominicans, the Cubans, you know, the Puerto Ricans, the Haitians, and they act like they're on some type of level, you know. When they come over here to America, they start getting more proud versus where they were before. They were humble, they were striving, they were, you know, having a work, you know, low-level jobs, but still, at least you were being honest with yourself. When you came over here to America, you switched up. You know, you started learning the ways of the heathen. As the scriptures tell you not to learn the ways of the heathen. At least you get a snare upon yourself. Bring that one out. Even though, like, over there in the Latin tribes, they worship their idols, you know, but when they come over here to America, it solidifies things, you know. It makes things harder, if that makes sense, for them to snap out of that mindset. This is Psalms 106 and verse 34. It says, I'll start at verse 33. It says, because they provoked his spirit so that he spake unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. You see, they didn't destroy the nations whom the Lord concerning them. The other nations, because the other nations were into other idol worship, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And that's what's wrong with these so-called Latinos, Native American Indians, man. The Northern Kingdom is that they're learning the works of the heathen. They mingle themselves with that. All right, that perverse spirit, that demonic spirit, man. That's why it's so hard. That's why you see a lot of these Latin tribes just playing games, laughing, joking around and shit. That's the answer. Okay? The heart is not fully set in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. It says, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. You see? A snare. A snare is something that takes hold of you, that has a grip on you. That's why when you read in Hosea, which I'm going to bring out, it says, Ephraim is joined unto idols, leave him alone. Because that's what it is, man. He's joined unto idols. Meaning that he's bound to these curses. But in the due time, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to lift that curse when he's ready. And there's going to be a great flood of the Northern Kingdom coming in. You know? But right now, he's setting the ones up he needs to be set up in the time that we're in right now to push this word. Because it's going to get greater. It's going to become greater as far as the elect waking up. And it's going to come in like a mass flood. You know? I'm going to go back to 2nd Esdras 9 and 10. It says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. And where is everybody receiving the greater benefits? Here in America. You know, you can go to the, you know, food stamp place, get food stamps. You can go to, if you lose your job, you can go get, you know, unemployment. Those are all types of benefits, man. And then when you start receiving those benefits, you act like you're on some type of level. That's what's wrong with the Latin tribes. The Latin Kingdom, the Latin tribes come over here to America and they get real proud. Which pride is what? Hateful before the Most High and men. Okay? So that those benefits that America provides to the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, that's a snare unto you, because you, in your mind, you act like you don't need the Most High. You start getting edge ups, you start shaving off your beard, you start eating pork, you start committing adultery, you start getting into homosexuality, all types of wickedness, man. The love of money. When you come over here to America, but it's like that everywhere, but it's greater here in Babylon. That's why it's known as Babylon the Great, that great whore. It's greater over here. The vibration here is that you're in the fucking the heart of evil right here, man. Watch the movie like The Lord of the Rings, and how once they started, the Frodo and them started getting closer to the, I forget the name of that area, but they were going over there to destroy the ring by burning it, throwing it back into the fire. The vibration of evilness was more heavy on Frodo, man, trying to weaken him, and it gave strength to the ring. Okay, So once you come over here to America, it enhances that wickedness, man. All right. It says, and they that had loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. You know? But despised what? The word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the Holy Bible, man. The Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Lashawan Kadash, the Rakah Kodash. They despised it. Or they despised the men of the Lord that are in the highways and the byways, man. You know? Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave them. Even he gave them the law when he was with them with Moses, man. All right, Mount Sinai. They did the same thing. They're doing the same thing now. You got to understand that. This is the repeat of history. History is repeating itself all over again. All right. It says, the same must know it after death by pain. And so that's what they're going to have to learn by. They're going to have to learn it the hard way. It's called tough love, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to turn his back, and you're going to feel that heat. You're going to feel what it is to be without Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and you're going to have to call unto him, man. You know, he's going to use it through martial law. He's going to use it, you know, through the knowledge of the RFID chip, knowing that if you're going to take that, you're going to be put to death. And after that, what are they going to do? They're going to seek Yahushua. Right? Now everybody's going to seek Yahweh Bashem Yahushua in the land of captivity, because because when martial law and all that comes, you know, they're not going to be doing none of that. They're going to be doing their own thing. So what is that time of Jacob's troubles when they're going to start really seeking Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? You got to remember these things. But in the meantime, we have to keep ourselves in check. Keep ourselves focused on Yahushua. Okay? Because the time is going to come where they will come. Watch the movie on The Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. You know? And in that movie, he kept hearing the voices, something saying, build it, they will come. That's what we're doing. The Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is telling us to build, and they will come. They're going to come when Yahushua is ready for them to come, not on our time. Okay? Brothers are going to get impatient, and I understand, we do. But that's the answer to it. Okay? You got to keep your integrity. You got to hold your fort down. Going back to Psalms 106 and 37. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. And that's why you're seeing all these land tribes killing their own people. Human trafficking, you know, these drug cartels wreaking havoc on the people, you know, going and collecting taxes from the people. If not, they're gonna kill them. Why? Because they're into their own idols. They're into their own worshiping of themselves, man. Okay, but there ain't no difference between, you know, Mexico, Venezuela, Chile, Argentina, you know, Puerto Rico, Cuba, than America. Wickedness is everywhere, but it's just heightened here in America. Okay, which is, we know that the vibration of Esau has encompassed the whole earth. We know that. Okay, but there ain't no difference as far as like there's crime, there's violence everywhere throughout the earth. That's in almost in every single person. But it's heightened here in America. You learn the ways of the heathen. You learn the ways of Esau. All right. And you apply that to your own wicked ways, and then boom, you become twice a down devil, man. Become more stubborn. All right. But they sacrificed their children, man. You know, they killed them, their kin. If they don't abide by their rules, you know. So, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take great destruction. It says, thus, going back to Psalms 106 and 39, thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a-whoring with their own inventions. They went a-whoring with their own inventions, man. Their own ways, their own opinions, their own conceits, with their own selves, basically. What they thought was right in their own mind, that's what they went with. All right? They despised the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It says, therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. And he did. He abhorred his own inheritance. He cast them away. That's why it's important to read the book of Hosea, because it goes into that. This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 17. And I'm going to start at verse 1. This is, the sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. Whilst their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills, O my mountain, in the field I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. See? So the Most High gave them over to serve their enemies in the land. And not only that, they're idols, man. They're their own enemies, they're idols. Okay? They bowed the shoulder unto tribute unto these different heathens, these idols. Okay? So it goes and says again in Psalms 106 and 40, therefore was the wrath of Yahweh kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. You know, he was displeased with his own people, man. That's why he cast them away. That's why they were considered outcasts, strangers. You know, it says, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. You see, they that hated them ruled over them. And they loved their lovers, man, which I'm going to go into. Okay? I'm just showing how the Most High, his people shall be willing in the day of thy power. I mean, when they start seeing certain things, and then they're seeing the power of Esau being pushed out, because the Esau is the sword of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? They know they ain't going to be able to prevail against Esau. They can't prevail against their own countrymen, man. They can't prevail against their own countrymen, the cartels, these drug lords, these gangbangers on the street. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna take heed to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. All right. This is Psalms 117 and 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." So we know who the sword is, the wicked. All right, the other nations, the heathens, primarily in our time, is Esau. He's the one that has the power to judge you, Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. Whether you're deemed innocent or not, he has the power to kill you. He has the power of life in his hand, life and death. The Most High gave him that ability. All right. This is in the book. This is in the book of Genesis, going into Esau, how he was blessed with the sword, which in our time, it fits him perfectly, because like I said, Esau, the Edomites, according to the Bible, are the so-called white people, are the ones that have the power of life and death in their hand. That's why they're able to kill you, Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians, put you in prison, and get away with it, whether it be righteous or unrighteous. All right. Let's find where it's at. This is Genesis chapter 27. This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven up from above. Meaning that he's blessed. He's going to have the dominion of the earth for a period of a time. And by thy sword shalt thou live. See? And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And what was the yoke upon his neck during the time of King David, man? when he had garrisons over there, over Esau, Edom. All right, and they broke off that yoke whenever Israel started going off, man, after King Solomon. Okay, but point is that he was blessed with the sword. Okay, he was blessed with the sword, and to destroy you Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, man. Okay, but you come over here and learn their ways. All right, you learn their ways, you learn their actions. All right, their traditions and customs. You know, and that's what's a snare unto these Latin tribes, man. All right, they're into devil worship. They're into all manners of abomination, man. Okay. Wickedness is set in their heart, man. Going back to Psalms 107 and 41, he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. You see? So these Latin tribes are under subjection by the so-called white man, man. These Edomites. That are them themselves, these Edomites are governed and ruled by demonic spirits, man, on the left-hand side. Satan. Okay? It says, many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity, you see? They provoked him with their own counsel, man. You know? They didn't want to take heed unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They didn't want to take nothing serious by the prophets. These are the same people back there in the time of Moses, man. They're in the time of Yahweh Shai. They're the same people back being rebellious. You know? Not taking heed unto the prophet, the mouth of the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the vision, the prophecy. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. And he remembered for them his covenant and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. And that's what he's willing to do. But you have to come to that acknowledgement of your error, man. Of your rebellious heart. You're silly as a dove, Ephraim. Ephraim being the head tribe of the northern kingdom, they're likened as a silly dove. You know? This is Deuteronomy 33, and this is Deuteronomy 33 and 16. It says, and for the precious things of the earth and the fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. So Ephraim is basically the head of the northern kingdom, man. They're going to be used. Ephraim primarily being the head. He was the younger, but he was chosen. All right. By Isaac, he was blessed by Isaac, right? Or Joseph, so like Jacob. All right, because Manasseh was the eldest. So it says, with them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. Okay. I just wanted to bring that point out, how Ephraim is the head of the northern kingdom. Okay. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is willing to pardon your iniquity and your hard-headedness, your stout heart, you know. But first you have to come with a repentant heart. But in the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua's power, then he's gonna make known, or they're gonna come to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. But right now things are all good. They act like they don't need nothing. You know, they're partying, getting drunk, doing drugs. You know, no care in the world, man. You know, but that shit's all gonna come to an end. You know, it's all gonna come to an end. This is Hosea chapter 5, verse 9. It says, Ephraim shall be desolate in the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Israel have I made known that which shall surely be. Yeah, making it known to you. What shall surely be. You know, you will be made desolate. You will be found naked out here in the streets. You will be ashamed. You know, that's what Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to do. He's going to do it in the way that you should have came in when the time was good. You know, when the time of mercy was being open right now. He's going to show you mercy, but it's going to be a mercy that is going to be called. We know it today is tough love. Okay, and if you come back, you're going to be accepted, which is going to go into that. It says, Ephraim shall be desolate in the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Israel have I made known that which shall surely be. The princes of Judah were like them that removed the bound. Therefore I will pour out my wrath upon them like water. And how does he do that? By judgment. This is Amos chapter 5 verse 24. But let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. See? So he's going to make judgment run down as waters. He's going to pour it upon you, man. Okay? But that water can do what? It can either break you or make you. Because even when brothers come in, we're still being tried. We're still being tested. We're still being put through that fire, man. We're still being judged. You know, that's why brothers fall into certain things and it's like, damn, man, is the Most High going to cast me away, destroy me? You know? But that's up to Most High to know. All we can do is to keep going forward, to keep pushing, to keep doing what is commanded of us to do. All right? Go on to the highways and the byways, preach his word, regardless if people want to listen. All right? Be that light upon that housetop, that hilltop. What is that light? Showing the word, man, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Not the folly that goes on in America, throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay? That's what Yahweh Shai commanded us to do, to present our bodies a living sacrifice before the face of our enemies, the heathens, the 2/3, the Negro Latinos, the Native American Indians. Okay? It says, going back to Hosea 5 and 11, Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment, because he willingly walked after the commandment. You see, he turned away from the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? He willingly done this act, man. That's why we are in the condition that we're in. As a people, the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, we're at the bottom of the barrel. No matter how high you get in society, how high your stature is with the so-called white man, or what type of career you get yourself into going into college, you're still looked at as a proverb or a byword, which is what? A wetback, a spick, a Mexican. You're not called by your true nationality, which is a what? A Hebrew Israelite that come from the tribe of Judah, Issachar, Manasseh, Ephraim. That's our true heritage. So it don't matter how high you get up in America, you're still looked down as that, man. You're still a slave. We're still slaves, man. So you gotta acknowledge your offenses to get right with Yahweh Bashem Shai. That's why he says that he shall change your stony heart into a soft heart, basically. A heart of flesh, which is flesh is what? It's soft, versus a stone. You know? But the only way it's going to get to that level is you have to obey your power, Yahweh Bashem Shai, and acknowledge the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Stop eating pork, shrimp, because that's a dietary law. But a lot of Americans, they're not even on the diet. You know? That's why America has one of the most obese people on the earth. Out of all the nations of the earth, America has the people that have the most obesity problem, man. Diabetes, high cholesterol. You know, all this stuff is because Yahweh Bashem Shai loved his people, and he gave them that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that all the other nations envied after, or they went and learned after the Israelites. You know? But they walked after the commandment. They didn't go after it in the sense that they were following. They walked after it. They turned away from it. And you go into that word, that's what it says, man. Why is the Lord going to judge them if they're obeying the law, statutes, and commandments? All right? Because obeying the law, statutes, and commandments had faith. You had faith with the sincerity. If you had sincerity mingled into it. You know? So they walked contrary to the ways of the law, statutes, and commandments. They broke it, man. They broke that everlasting commandment. This is Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay? And you read the curses, and it goes into why the Latin tribes are the way they are. Okay? It goes into why they have a stubborn heart, a rebellious heart. It's because the curses are upon them. Most High is not going to allow them to come to him. Okay, he's going to have certain things that are going to go off in the land and the earth for them to snap out of it. But on his time. So-called Mexicans, man. But one of the proud, all the tribes are proud as fuck. You know, it's not just Esau. Esau is the head, but the so-called Negro Latinos or Native American Indians, they're proud. You know. Let's see, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 10. I start at verse 11. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion. Or Salah, let me start at verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. See, they didn't receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. Why? Because they loved this current world. They love the flesh. They love the desires, the appetites of the flesh. Okay? They love the simplicity of Esau, the bullshit. Christmas trees and Thanksgiving and Easter bunnies, Easter, Halloween, all the vanity that life brings to them, man. That's what they cleave to, man. All this bullshit, which is retarded. Basically that's what they are. They're retarded right now. They're not in the developed stages of becoming a babe. They're still an embryo. Okay? They're growing in a slower rate. This is in the book of Habakkuk, verse Habakkuk 2:18. It says, what profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof hath graven it? The molten image, and a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein to make dumb idols. You see? And that's what our people are. They trust into dumb idols, man.